Hello everybody, welcome to Apex Racing TV on this Tuesday evening. It's the BSR Formula Renault series and we're right in the thick of the showdown, and we are in the heart of Texas, Austin, Texas to be exact, the circuit of the Americas. And well, I'm joined by Alex Simpson and Alex, COTA circuit. It's become a favourite with F1 fans in terms of the racing it provides. Drivers maybe not sold on it quite as much, but I think we should see some great stuff today.
I think in real life, actually, the drivers quite enjoy the circuit. It's got a great flow to it. I think the biggest problem in iRacing, we were talking about it off air, and we might as well bring it on here, is the off tracks are just so bloody close to the limit. You know, you put a wheel, just skim a wheel onto the red stuff, you know, beyond the curb, and you know you've got an instant 1x, and it does cause some problems, and it is a bit of a pain, and you know, so I can understand why you know, some drivers don't particularly like it, others do. Yeah, I just remember a particular World Championship race where one of the drivers got himself like 60 off tracks in this race or something like that,
dear.
and that was the reason they introduced an instant limit into the series, because you know it is a place that you can absolutely take the mickey with and gain an advantage, and you know, some have done it. Fortunately, in this series we have an instant limit, as we've seen many a times with the disqualifications that we get, so drivers have to be a little bit careful and avoid each other as well.
Yeah, I feel like the circuit, especially maybe the faster. Would you say the faster your car is, the better the circuit feels around this track? Because it was designed for Formula One. Let's face it.
Yeah, I think so. The higher the downforce, I mean, especially the first sector, really, it's all about, you know, super downforce and really pushing the car through there. Feels great through there. The slower stuff, and the second half probably more tailor-made to, you know, the GT racing and things like that. Well, I'm going to quickly run straight into the points, Andrew. I know you haven't got them, and qualifying has finished. Martin van Loosenholt leads the way with 10,912 points. He is not here. He can't miss this week, so he's potentially going to lose 400 points, and he's only just over 100 or so in front of Keithley. So Jack could well put himself in a really dominant position if he has a great night tonight. Lebert's not here in third place as well, so a good opportunity for Depka to move himself into third. Do I see Kip Stevens on the grid? No, I don't as well. So a lot of absentees tonight. Good opportunity for people to move themselves up and into the relevant positions. Baxter leads the way in the AM Championship, just ahead of his Faker SimSport Europe teammate Jos Honig, actually in second. Paul Denton had a bit of a shocker last week and is down to third, but there really isn't much between those. Less than 100 points separates those three. Roy Ververke in fourth, and a very quick look at the teams. You've got Faker, Apex Racing UK, CQR, and over to you, Andrew, for the grid.
Yeah, Jack Keithley on pole position. Josh Thompson alongside him on row 1. Stephen Baxter and Yannick Ongeda make up row 2. Paul Denton is 5th ahead of Jos Honig. David Waldock in 7th. Christian Rose 8th. 9th, Rafe Cullinan. Then you've got Stelian Chepelevsky, Alex Smolensky, Tom Depka and Roy Ververke. Depka, of course, only American on the grid, Alex.
Yeah, not very well, we've been told as well, but he's out there nonetheless. So he's an opportunity to get himself into third in the championship today, and you know, why not get out there and score some points? There's prize money up for grabs and things like that. Still all to play for. That's the best thing about the showdown. It resets everyone back, so a nice sort of even turn. Here we go.
Here we go then. Just a few seconds to go then before the green light comes on. Here we go then at Circuit of the Americas. But even start at the front, the first four not really making any inroads. Having a look is Baxter on the inside of that turn one hairpin. Everybody looks like they're through that. Okay, that's well driven, and almost surprisingly well driven given the state of some of the driving in this series. But here comes Jack Keithley ahead of Josh Thompson, and Alex, I hate to mention it, but it might happen again today.
Yeah, I mean, these guys obviously met each other a few times on the circuit, and they're the two quickest guys out there, so this week I think it's going to be interesting to see how they go. Josh always trims his car out, so down this back straight I think he's going to be able to slipstream up to Jack pretty quickly. 0.3 of a second, that's in that half a second window that we've seen where most of the overtaking can be done. Rose is also very close to Yannick Ongena, just behind these two, so we might have a couple of different overtakes already Josh on the offensive. Here he comes.
There he goes inside. Josh Thompson down the long straight. I thought he's alongside into the braking area, but the braking area is nowhere to be found because it's such a long straight down here. And into this tight left-hander goes Thompson. He takes the lead. A good early move there by Josh Thompson. As he said, Alex, these two the fastest drivers out there comfortably. If they don't take the 4 wins between them today, you would imagine they'll be quite disappointed. And third place, someone who's not disappointed at all with how his season's going, is Stephen Baxter. He's actually catching this this duo, despite the fact he was about 3/4 of a second off in practice and qualifying, but showing some good speed at the start of the race. We've got a 15-minute race here, and then the rest will be done on laps and not time, so we have to watch the clock in this.
Worth pointing out for those that don't know as well, these 13 drivers that are on the grid are racing for a share of $5,500 right now as well. So you know, people hit on the series, but even with just these few people, there's still an awful lot up for grabs. And yeah, hey, sim racing, decent prize pool. Pretty,
that's true.
Yeah, pretty good going when you think about it. You know.
That's.
Oh, Rafe
You're exactly
Cullinan
right.
around. Blue Flag Racing, some problems for him. What just happened? Turn 1. Walensky, Chippy and Tom all behind him. I think that might have meant they had a pit lane start as well. Yeah, just lost it going into the corner. Very easy done, gets the car out of the way. Not sure he lost any places there either, being that the guys were coming back.
I think Smolensky was some distance behind. I think he's been struggling with the circuit somewhat. Chepelevsky is he's managed to catch this group. In fact, Cullinan under pressure from Alex Smolensky. And I don't know what Smolensky's doing there. I don't know what sort of line that is, but yeah, I'm not sure what line that is.
Not the right one. His teammate goes through.
I think he got a bit lost. Either that or he was letting Cheppy through. I'm not sure, but yeah, Cheppy off after Rafe Cullinan. Tom Depka, you can tell just by looking at the lap times and the car that he's not happy there at all.
Yeah, not well at all.
And you know how it is, mate. I mean, at the level you drive at, you know, being ill's not great, and you know how it can affect the lap times, even if you're just slightly off. You know, not 100%.
Yeah, big time. I'm guessing Tom's probably not had an opportunity to test or do anything, so he's just out there, just circulating around, trying to make sure he picks up the points. To be honest, not a bad strategy. Look at how well Kip did with the just running around at the back throughout the season. He got himself into the showdown at the end of the day pretty comfortably. There's an overtake for Dave Waldhock on Christian Rose. Rose trying to hang it around the outside. He might get a slightly better run out of the corner. Stays ahead of the Infinity Sim Sports. Is that what they're called? I can't remember what they're called now.
Yeah, that's right. Even though Thompson not racing, he's in that team, isn't he? But yeah, but not racing for that team in the series. It's very confusing. But Dave Waldock, he did well last week, didn't he? And I'm sure he'll be looking to build on that and try and get into the top 5. And you know what? He's got a good chance here. There's only a few tenths behind Christy Rose. I will say with this circuit, I've kind of grown to enjoy the circuit over the last couple of years and whatever, but I do think in these cars, it seems very long, doesn't it, and drawn out.
Yeah, I mean, it's over 2 minutes for the lap time, so...
And I know we go to longer circuits like Spa, but with Spa it feels like... I don't know, it feels like it suits the car a lot more as Waldock. Very late on the brakes. Again. But this is a great section anyway, because you can take so many different lines. You can attack on the inside, on the outside. You can run it in deep into the corner and really try and surprise the other driver. And yeah, great sector. And after this is like a turn 8, isn't it, at Turkey?
Just a bit too tight, I feel.
Big long right-hander.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit wider, it would be absolutely perfect. But yeah.
That second to last corner is a corner that in theory I should like quite a lot, because I like those sort of 90-degree corners, but something about it, you can never quite get it right. And the final corner is pretty good. Down the straight goes Waldock after Christian Rose. Is he going to have a look into the hairpin? You can just throw one here because of just the way that the corner is. Around that time, Herman Tilke, he decided, didn't he, that he was going to make quite a few circuits and a few corners that had that sort of profile. But what he found was, because you saw it at India as well, Alex, the Indian Grand Prix, was drivers just weren't using the inside line, and it would get very, very quickly very dirty. And then they just wouldn't use that as an overtaking place because they'd spend the next lap scrabbling around for grip.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the uphill braking, it should open it up, shouldn't it, with so many lines through there. And there's a few corners like that, you know.
This one.
Yeah, coming into it now as well. And then the end of the straight, lots of opportunities to
he's hit the curb there, quite hard, Rose.
A couple of times Rose hit the curb, and obviously these Renaults, they don't like the curbs too much, very, very low to the ground. And yeah, it's got a poor run out of the corner. Waldock, surely an opportunity here. Rose has to go defensive on the inside, absolutely glues it on the white line. Waldock to the outside, it's going to have to outbrake him, do it around the outside.
I quite enjoyed the four-wheel drift that David Waldock was pulling coming out of the previous corner, and he makes it stick on the outside. Can he make it work through this tight sector? Double apex, right-hander, and then into the left. Yeah, nice.
Very nice overtake there. Paul Denton closed in as well with that going on. Paul beating his teammate at the moment, so catching some points up on him in the championship. But Baxter definitely coming into this out very, very strong. Picked up a lot of pace. We've been singing his praises a little bit, so I hope he don't curse him right now in recent weeks and all the different series that he's doing. So imagine if Baxter focused himself on just one car, how good he'd be.
I think he'd be very good indeed. And well, he has been good in the BSRTC. I think this has been by far his strongest series, but we've seen him in the European V8 Supercar Championship, and we saw him in the club. He was in the Club 73, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah.
So he's been doing a lot of work and doing a lot of racing, and similar to what Ben Hackison was doing, wasn't it, a few months ago? But I do think there's something to be said for specialising in one or maybe even two cars. I mean, you like to dabble in, you know, the IndyCar and as well as the McLaren, didn't you? So
yeah, that I could sort of pull that off fairly.
Do
decent.
oval, I suppose. Though,
yeah,
mostly,
I think that was the thing. The Indy was more like a split oval and road, so wasn't so much of a demand on the road racing. But yeah, now obviously doing a very little bit of GT racing, but still doing some.
Although we have seen
Blancpain, and then I'll be making my return. Possibly not for Suzuka in the World Championship, but the race after that.
Oh, why not Suzuka?
I don't think I'm going to get my rig.
Circuit.
I'm not going to get my rig built in time, I don't think.
Oh, when's that? Next week?
It's next weekend, yeah. So not this weekend,
you've
next
got
weekend.
time.
I might do. Depends how quickly these suppliers come back to me with the bits.
I hope you do, because that is the circuit where you finished. Was it 5th?
Oh, Baverke must be around. He is indeed.
5th, was it? That you finished in Suzuka?
6th.
6th? Well, that was like your first World Championship race, wasn't it? Or second or something? So.
Second, and I haven't done any better since then.
Well, so, I mean, I'm far from me to be the one that judges.
It's just a fluke.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, Suzuka, for me, what's the next round after Suzuka then?
Not 100% sure.
Go. But yeah, I mean, the oval road split is quite a good. I think that's quite healthy, really, because it also means as well. I think this is one of the great things about iRacing in general, is that it means that if you have a bad race on one road or oval side, or a bad week or whatever, you've still got the chance to sort of make up for it on, you know, in your other discipline or whatever. So I think it's pretty good. We've got a nice battle shaping up actually here, because David Waldock hasn't managed to get away from Christian Rose. And he's bringing Denton and Honig along for the ride as well.
Yeah,
So,
and also forming up as well is Baxter and Ongana, so that's looking quite interesting too.
Depka's just taken Smolensky, that's for 12th place, so Tom is soldiering on. He's got one Bulgarian driver there, and he's going to look for the other one in Stalin Chepelevsky. Chepi, all over the place actually in Sector 1. And now here comes Ongana, having a look on Baxter. Thinks about pulling out the slipstream, and again we've said this, haven't we, that Faker they might have to start fighting themselves because you know they're going to be in the running for the major prizes. They're going to win the teams championship. So
Rose up the inside, coming out of the hairpin, side by side with Waldock. That's good. Forces Waldock just a little bit wide. Still there though. Got the inside line. This is what we were talking about. So many lines that you can take. Dave having to take the tight one. Christian forced to the outside.
He's on
but
the Astro.
He's still there. Up the inside of
cheeky.
this long triple apex, whatever turn it is.
Bit cheeky, I thought that looked like it was track extending to me. In order to get the momentum and get the move done.
I don't think he had any choice because otherwise there'd have been collision if he'd have tried to stay all four wheels on the circuit. To be honest, so I think he was. I think he's well within his rights to do that. I think he was more sort of forced out there because of the line that Waldock took.
Open wheel drivers union, I think that is. I don't agree. I don't necessarily agree with that one, but you know, there we go. What have I ever won? As David Waldock. And to be fair, I won a Formula 1 race around Silverstone. There you go. There wasn't a lot of competition. All my competition just basically crashed off, if I remember rightly.
Oh, I do remember that race.
But you know, I did.
You were quick anyway. You were right there. So
true, but you know, I got a bit of help. I wouldn't have won if I can't remember who it was. Baker, or was it like Ryan Littlemore or something? Somebody stacked it anyway when they should have won the race. And I can't remember who it was, but that's the only reason I really won.
Thompson leads by 3.2 seconds now. We've only got 1 minute and 40 to go. I think he will get through, so we'll have one more lap after this. But honestly, I'm quite surprised to see him drive away from Jack as much as he has in this
3 seconds. I mean,
Rose and Waldock again. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. David's just driven past him on the straight. I wonder if the straight line speed's a thing for Thompson, you know, because you know Heathley might have his car set up with higher downforce, and maybe as his tyres are going, it's affecting him more than it's affecting Thompson, because Thompson usually trims the car out fully, doesn't he? So. And at a track like this, when you got you know 2 or 3 fairly sizable. Well, you've got one very long straight, and you've got the main straight, which is the small one. These cars. Thompson will start the final lap then, and driven really, really well into turn 1. Takes that nicely, plunges down the hill, and hard right. This is a good corner in a F1 car, isn't it? That fast right-hander. It's not really a challenging corner, but it's a fun one.
It's quite of a challenge actually in the McLaren MP430 when you've got the
because the power
when you've got the ERS fully deployed, I tell you.
Actually, I do remember doing that, and it was it was a bit of a handful, so I take that back, but you really do feel the downforce of the modern F1 car though through there.
I tell you, the Williams FW31 was magnificent through there, just absolutely glued all through that first sector.
Williams was a good car. I missed that car because that was the only one that was half decent in. The McLaren, absolutely nothing. Have a look then. Baxter, Ongana, they're about 1 second apart. Nothing really going on there. This battle could still potentially go down this back straight. You know, Waldock, Rose, Honig, and Denton. I think Denton might be out of the slipstream range, but Honig certainly isn't.
They're all sufficiently spaced, I think, that they might close up by the end, but that's about it. That's a straight. That's exactly what's happened.
Christian is closing up. We're already into the braking area, though. Waldock locks up, but manages to survive. So Josh Thompson, then he's just got 3 corners to go. He exits the fast right-hander, and this tricky left, sort of off camber and almost blind as well. To the final corner he comes, and Josh Thompson. Well, there's been some controversy this season with him. There's no controversy about that. He takes the win here at Circuit of the Americas.
Keithley came across in second. Baxter was in third, closely followed by his teammate. And is Waldock going to hold on to this? Does. Waldock from Rose, and then Honig.
Where is the line here? It's the actual finish line, isn't it?
It's the first one.
First one?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because...
Ooh, Roy Ververke and Rafe Cullinan having a little scrap. Ververke very wide, Rafe up the inside.
Roy's going to try the cutback, but you can't do a cutback here. Not on the final corner, or can you? Ooh!
Close.
No, you what? I thought... I was thinking that line is far too close to attempt a cutback. It still nearly worked.
That's almost one for another one of Lee's sound bites if he was still around doing them there. Ooh!
Did Josh and Jack have some kind of... Did they have some kind of incident?
No? Why? They're
talking about something?
About it.
They are talking, actually. They're not shouting and swearing, so that is an improvement. Okay. Let me see if somebody's had a bit of a dodgy...
I don't think so. I mean, they just went past each other on the straight, didn't they? That was it. Josh got past and that was it. So, yeah, I didn't see anything.
Oh, well. There you go. We were saying that there wasn't a heck of a lot of grip out there, so it could be to do with the winds. The wind's quite high, actually, for... or high-ish. For when you're driving a single seater, it could be something to do with that, just unsettling
with COTA as well. It's not got a great deal of grip on the circuit, you know.
No, because it's kind of dusty, isn't it, as well? I think. Right, let's take you through the finishing order then. And Josh Thompson, dominating really, started in second place, took the lead early on. That big overtake on the first lap, and after that, really, was plain sailing. 3.8 seconds was the margin of victory, and Stephen Baxter taking up the final step on the podium. Excellent work by him, the AM Championship leader, of course. Yannick Ongene in 4th, David Waldock 5th, Christian Rose 6th, 7th for Jos Honig, Paul Denton in 8th, Rafe Cullinan 9th. Great battle with Roy Verke at the end, 10th. Tom Depke finished 11th in the end, and I think that is job well done. Alex Smolensky 12th, and Stelian Chepelevsky finished last. Something must have happened to Cheppy because he was in front of Depke and Smolensky, at least I think. Must have had some kind of a crash because his last 3 laps were well off the pace.
Yeah, I saw that and thought the same because he was in front of those guys, wasn't he? So.
Right then, mate. We've got 3 races to go tonight here on Apex Racing TV for the BSR Formula Renault Series. And you'll join us for those at the other side of this commercial break.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it into 4, who's gonna be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Circuit of the Americas here on Apex Racing TV. BSR Formula Renault with Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson. Apologies, viewers, for the delay. There was an issue setting up the session, so they decided they were going to do it again. Probably for the best, really, let's be honest. Alex Simpson, I think there's an issue with one or two drivers getting prevented from joining or something like that.
We picked up that Lebert was not there, but of course he only had a one-race ban, wasn't it, for the collision with Josh, but not actually the collision last week. It was the aftermath, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, which I think we, not to dwell on it too much, but I think that's probably fair.
I think that was fair. So he's back in there now, but of course he wasn't able to get into the second session.
Oh, because
he wasn't
they
into the first one.
It's
often forgot it, but yeah, fortunately he got on there, and the admins got him added for another session, and he's in there. So we're up to 14. We might see Kip by the end of the evening as well. So back to a 15-car grid, which will be
he needs the points.
Reasonable.
Does Lebert?
He does, absolutely.
He really does now, because he's lost a few points due to crashes. And obviously not being there for that one race. However, he can make some points up on Martin van Loosenhoed, who's not here, of course.
Yeah, indeed. He's still got 3 races to do that, so it could be, 300 points that he could close up, or
could end up ahead of Martin.
Yeah, exactly. So, well worth getting in here and trying to do it. So I think it's actually generally all to race for in that championship. Very close now after people's absences and things like that. So.
Yeah, our colleague Adam Bath informed us of Van Loosenhoed's absence earlier on, and we're not entirely sure where Adam Bath is. We think
Someone's
he might
kidnapped him.
We think he might be at the football, but we're not sure. So we haven't actually had confirmation of that. So Adam, if you're watching at half-time of the League Cup game or whatever, then give us a wee message, will you? Anyway. Oliver Verke getting lost, it looks like there. Final corner. So, reverse grid, of course, coming into play this time. And also laps instead of time, so 8 laps. Which actually was the amount of laps they got in before, really, wasn't it? And,
Yeah, it was. So
it's going to be a similar length race. Stelian Chepelevsky's going to be on pole position. I think he's got half a shot to win the race, because even though he was very slow at the end of the race, at the end of the first race, he was catching the cars in front of him, so maybe he can put
Josh
it
and
together.
Jack and Lebert are all going to have a big old fight, I think, for that to happen. What I want to point out very, very quickly is the points absolutely dead tied for the lead in the championship. 10,912 points each.
Wow.
Keith Lee and Martin van Loosenhoed after that round. So Jack has made up the difference already in just that one race, so this is where Martin's going to lose big time now in these next 3 races. Depka did get into 3rd place as well, so that goes to show, the consistent reliability of finishing difference.
Here we go then. Tom Depka not taken to his grid slot. Would have been 3rd. Bit of a lull there, and here we go. Samuel Lebert starting from the pits. Stelian Chepelevsky on pole. We're away, green light is on. Pole start by Verke. We saw Denton drawing alongside him. Cullinan making a move forward as well. Stelian Chepelevsky goes unchallenged into turn 1. Depka. Oh, and up the inside goes David Waldock, making it 3 wide, and that's into Cullinan. Cullinan will be lucky to get away with no damage there.
Was that Denton who was out wide? Was it Baxter who was literally forced off the track? Who's the light blue? I think that is Denton, isn't it? Yeah.
He was the one on the outside, wasn't he? Thompson hitting the sausage curb hard in the first sector. Doesn't want to break this. He can break the suspension. Oh, round goes Denton, and he's off and into the wall. I wonder if that was maybe a legacy of the contact at turn 1.
I think that's more just cold tyres, actually. That's an awful place when the tyres are cold, and it is a bit dreary out there now as well, looking at that cloud cover over there. So it's going to take the tyres a good sort of 3/4 of a lap to get into that sweet spot.
Walensky's got lost at the hairpin again. And David Waldock goes into 2nd place. Here comes Stephen Baxter, of course. Try and get past the Pro Sim car as well. And behind them, Cullinan attacking Thompson. And there's a battle at the back as well. And that is Keithley, Ongana and Rose. That's 3 wide. Smolenski fighting hard with Baxter here. Baxter going through though, and Rose losing out to Ongana.
Smolenski and Josh very close now. Alex not too far behind Baxter though, but I would expect Baxter to pull away around the outside for Thompson. Took a lot of speed through there, not the ideal line at all. Couldn't quite keep the car on the racing service. Having a little look into the final corner, late on the brakes for him, and up and through. Importantly, I thought he was still going to be inside the slipstream of Baxter, but he's not quite, so Smolenski's got an opportunity to come straight back at him. He will. These guys seem to be playing it very, very safe, but
inside Smolenski, he uses that inside line to his advantage. Oh, and good driving actually from both men actually. Smolenski saw that one, saw that Thompson might come across slightly. Thompson likewise didn't want Smolenski to wash out up the track and into him, and yeah, they left each other just enough space. That's good from them. Stelin Chepelevsky leading. David Waldock, he's up to second. He started 9th. What an opening lap that was by David.
Yeah, very impressive. Right on Stellien's tail. Stellien's done an awful lot of testing in this car. Again, he's just here really helping out Kip and Christian in the championship.
I think it's David Waldock. He's not one of the quickest guys, but he's definitely becoming one of the quicker guys in this series. And easily
got the toe.
Easily a top 5 contender, and see him making his way forward on the big long straight, well over a kilometre.
Group and Keithley, Rafe and Jos and Yannick all very, very close here as well.
Yeah, very close to this middle sector. Oh, and round, I think Verke might have spun.
I think you're right. And Lebert comes through the hairpin, finds him, so does Depke. Both drivers managing to avoid him though. Baxter and Stellian now very, very close through the long right-hander.
Tell Depke's really suffering because he's normally a top 10 driver, midfield competitor really, and yeah, it looks like he's barely kind of managing to get around the track, which, you know, I don't know what's up with him, but can't be great if his lap times are demolished. Oh, and Honig spins.
Not his own, I think he was just around his teammates, wasn't he? So
yeah. Baxter up the inside into one. Epi either opened the door for Thompson or fell asleep. I'm not sure which one it was.
Like I say, I don't think these guys are really out there to battle or anything like that. They're just out there to just circulate and get the points. They know they know their game plan even.
Game pan, well maybe. Want to get pancaked, I suppose. But it's boring though, isn't it?
I agree.
You want to see a battle. You know, it's all right for one team to trundle around at the back all season and try and win the showdown, but I mean, come on. Hey, mate. Get going. You know, have some battles. Someone like Stellian as well as a top driver. I mean, I wouldn't say he's a top driver in this car, but we saw at Spa that he was fighting with the big boys and he wasn't backing down. And he was a match for them at times during those races as well. And David Waldock is a match for the field at the minute, but closing in is Josh Thompson as he moves past Stephen Baxter up into P2. And Josh Thompson, really, Alex, the fastest AM driver in the field. However, currently sitting in last position.
Yeah, crazy to see. That's just the story of his season, really, isn't it? Just needs to focus on, you know, there's aggression to the point of not finishing. We know another driver very similar to that in the BSR TC.
As long as he needs to...
fastest driver out there, but seems to always end up with a disqualification. And that's Mr. Sutton.
I was going to say, I don't always get disqualified. What are you talking about?
But yeah, just both drivers, they've just got to just learn just to dial it back a fraction, haven't they? Really, just so that they can get these regular points and wins and things like that, and they would win these titles pretty easily.
I think you're right. Oh, round Waldock, the leader. off
Yeah.
at turn 1.
Yeah, that's a bit of an unusual one, especially at this stage of the race. It's not really very difficult to loot the car once the conditions are quite cool, but the tyres are good. There's so much grip out there normally, so see how he did it. Did he hit the curb on the inside? Could have unbalanced the car, or did he just take too much speed in?
Let's have a look. Let's see.
Yeah, just too much speed in, lock the rears. Trying to get it to stop for the apex, and yeah, around she come. Very common. That's that rearward biased again, Andrew.
It is, mate, and you've gone on about it all season, and we're finally seeing it happening quite regularly, really. But I think it's that. But I think Waldock locks the brakes quite a lot anyway, front and rear. So it might be just a brake pressure thing. Can you change the brake pressure in this car?
I don't think so. No.
Looks like Thompson's got damage.
Yeah, you're right, on the wing, on the front left. He
Have
must
a
have
hit.
Is he hit a curb or something there? You know how high these sausage curbs are.
He was bashing the sausage curbs. I must
Quite
admit,
easily
in
done
the he was hitting the sausage curbs pretty hard at the start of the race, but I haven't seen anything.
See what kind of a difference that has. He had quite a pace difference over Baxter, who's in second place now. So we'll have to see if Baxter can close back in or not. It's mainly going to be sort of the straights, isn't it? We're going to see this difference.
You know what? He's had that damage for the whole race, I think.
Very, very odd. It's hardly affecting him. So
Just visual damage.
yeah, it could just be one of those like little netcode glitches that you occasionally get. We see them a lot at like Montreal, for example.
Yeah. Where you
Jack
think someone's
Keithley
clipped the
on
wall.
Stillian Chepelewski. Very, very close.
Yeah, Stellion. Keithley going for it, and Stellion's not going to fight.
Oh.
This is the thing, though, is that... Oh, I don't know, though. No, he's not. So he pulled off to the side just so that he didn't even get close to having a run at him. Yeah. The thing is, Keithley just threw that up the inside there because he knew that the Pro Sim guys are just going to get out of the way. That means basically we've got kind of a 5-car grid, haven't we? Because the Faker guys aren't fighting each other. the Pro Sim guys aren't fighting anyone.
Where's Adam where you need him? He'll spice it up a little bit.
Oh, let's get him in there for next week. I was worried about affecting the showdown, but you know what? Just get him in there. Where is Adam anyway? We'll find him at some point. Hopefully we'll find him for the BSRTC on Thursday.
Rafe's got a good run on Smolenski. Picked up the slipstream. Could be on this time. Closing in down the straight. Have to do it on the brakes though if he's going to get it done.
Speaking of that, Waldock up the inside of Chepelewski, who's just not bothered, unfortunately. Come on, Stellion.
Excuse me. Rose and Honig, very, very close. Bug on the screen, go away.
Oh, Rose got caught out a bit there. Honig was very slow. Oh, go up the inside. There's a gap. Oh, no, there isn't. Walensky would have gone for that gap. Walensky would have gone for it, let's face it.
You see a gap, I go for it.
Yes.
Looks
But
like he
now
might have a
Honig
bit of
is...
damage as well, Rose.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah,
Honig
a few
pulling
people have
away.
got that. It must be a visual thing with the sausage curb going through the fast, sort of like the S's. A couple of people have seen just clip those, and it must be showing as
Thompson's
damage.
got it, and Rose has got it, and LeBear's got it, I think. LeBear up to 11th, by the way, so he's picking up the points. Every little helps versus Martin Van Loosenholt, let's face it.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to take advantage of a driver like that when he's not around. Have to.
Yeah, they can build up or close the gap down and build up a margin. And I still think Martin was pretty straightforward with us, wasn't he, the other day, saying he's not going to change his driving tactics. He's going to go out there and just try and win every race he can, get through as quickly as he can. So that might open him up to another 1 or 2 more DNFs, and that's going to make it very difficult for him to win this championship.
Yep. You know what this race reminds me of? Reminds me of a game of football where both teams just need a draw.
Yeah, I agree.
or you know, they're playing for penalties. Something I don't really know what's because there are close battles out there, but they're not being fought over. They're just kind of cars close to each other. Stellion's actually putting pressure on Waldock. I don't know what's happened to David, but I feel like he's suddenly slowed down a fair bit. But Cheppy's not really... I mean, he is pressuring a little bit. He might be forced to pressure in a second, though, because look at Jan Kongana. He's right there.
Between Smolinski and Cullinan, they're very close as well.
They're fighting? Really? But they're getting somewhere.
They were side by side a few corners back. I just saw them in the background, but yeah, they're quiet and back down again.
That's what Cullinan should have that, really,
it
shouldn't he?
yeah.
Cullinan should have that. He was much quicker in practice, so I think he'll reel Smolenski in a little bit and
Here we go.
get pretty close into turn 1.
And Ongana.
Same orders, though, isn't it?
It's yeah, exactly. Just out of the way. So has Jack made a mistake or something? Because why isn't he further up this field? I mean, he should have been through this field long ago, surely.
It's only about 10th, though, wasn't he, after the first lap? I don't really know. Maybe he's just taking it easy.
Thompson and Baxter.
Let's face it, he knows half of them are going to get out of the way for him anyway. So
yeah, so we've had a change for the lead. This lap, what's gone on there?
it's a good question, but I didn't notice.
Who's that?
Oh, Thompson spun out of turn 1.
If we can get that back on the replay.
I just lit the rears up and he just went. Dear me. But he's not got no front grip.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is down to the wing.
He was sort of on the Astro, wasn't he?
Yeah.
There as well, coming off of that, so I'm not surprised.
But maybe he's having to boot it to get the front to turn, you know? Maybe he's struggling, but he shouldn't be struggling out there really in terms of the grip because it's only 24 degrees. You think this would be good conditions for racing the Formula Renault in? I mean, I know when I raced at Imola, I know it was...
you made a comment earlier on about, you know, if either Jack or Josh doesn't win these races, there's going to be an opportunity missed, and I think this well could be one of those races. Baxter, you know, he'll thank you very much as NAM. He'll take an overall win and be glad for it. It's just going to extend his points lead at the moment. So you know, yeah, I mean, Josh had that in the bag. He didn't really need to push that hard. Baxter wasn't closing in at all.
Don't get me wrong, it's still an improvement in points, isn't it? It's still an advantage, but yeah, you know, they needed to be taking 2 wins each, or Liber needs to take a win at some point.
For some reason it comes down to a countback or something like that, you know, these were the wins they needed, you know. And
they're still fighting for a good amount of money, so you know, it's not as if it doesn't matter. Because people will be saying, oh well, you know, it doesn't matter, you've got a 14-car grid and whatever, but really when you're that fast compared to the others, you need to be winning races. Simple. If you were this fast compared to others,
still close. You know, that's the thing. The top 3 in all the series is still very, very close. So everything to race for.
I've generally been quite brutally honest this season, as most people know. But really, if you would have been in this situation and you'd have been one of the fastest drivers out there, I don't think you'd be throwing away race wins. And I'm not just saying that about Josh, but I'm saying that about everybody really who should be at the very, very front of nearly every race. No, I don't think you would give away these points.
Oh, I'd hope so.
But you'd hope not, wouldn't you? But you know,
I've done some stupid things.
You have, but I won't go into them. We haven't got enough time.
Thank you.
Right then, Stephen Baxter though, I tell you what, 11th on the grid, he's fought his way through, he's been mistake free, and just 2 corners to go for him, and he's going to come through and win round 2 of the evening. Just needs a good exit here, he does. Powers across the line, and Stephen Baxter is your winner, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent racing from him. And you know what, it was a very good drive by Josh Thompson. If he did have some damage as well, It was a very good drive. Obviously a spin, he'll be gutted with that, but second place, you know what? Yes, opportunity missed, but not to such a terrible extent, Alex, is what, you know, what it could have been anyway, because he could have put that in the wall very easily.
Yeah, very easy.
Liber 9th, I think he'll take that from the pit lane.
Who's run out of fuel? No? Oh,
No,
Crabbin Honig on the last lap. What was that then?
He's crabbing seriously, he can barely turn the car.
Already done that. Let's go back a bit further. Guessing this is going to be it. Oh, he loses it coming onto the Astro again. So the cold weather and the Astro, not a lot of grip out of there. Final lap. Yeah, disaster.
And then he lost it again.
And
then he lost it again a bit further round as well.
Car's hammered. The main thing is he's across the start-finish line, isn't he? So he got those points.
You know what the hilarious thing was, I have to say. Absolutely hilarious thing. He had front wing damage, right? When he went off. He hit the wall, the front wing repaired itself.
Oh,
and
so just goes to show some of those are glitches. So.
And then he started crabbing.
He'd beat his teammate though again, so he's extended his he beat Denton, so he has extended there. So
I've got to say though, he was very unlucky there because he hit square on the rear suspension, didn't he? He could have, if he'd have hit the side pod or something like that, you know, he would have been okay. He would have got away with that. Christian Rose puts in the chat, did you have damage, Jos? And Jos will be thinking, what do you think? Oh dear. Yeah, so race over then. Stephen Baxter wins by 4.4 seconds. David Wardock in third. Jack Keithley in P4. Yannick Ongener in fifth. Stelian Chepelewski sixth. Seventh for Alex Smolensky. Eighth, Rafe Cullinan. Ninth, Samuel Liber. 10th is Tom Depka. Christian Rose 11th. Roy Ververke 12th. Jos Honig made it in the end to 13th place. And he did beat Paul Denton, actually. Yep. Alex, who also spun off into the wall at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, and of course those guys are second and third in the M Championship, so you know that one extra point is, you know, it counts, that matters. But hey, it could be Baxter's showdown just seems to be getting better and better at the minute.
It'll be important. 2 races to go tonight, halfway through the action this evening in the iRacing MSA British Sim Races Formula Renault Series, and we'll see you for the rest of it after this break here on Apex Racing TV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. The sun has emerged here at COTA. We have emerged for round 3 of the evening. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Alex Simpson. I do have the whereabouts of Adam Bath. He's joining us shortly, Alex.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But he wasn't at the football, he was at work.
Oh, I think we can let him off then.
So there we go. He would have wanted to be at the football, I would imagine. Now it's a 90-point gap for Jack Keithley at the top of the championship. And we're hoping to extend that here. He needs to finish the race to do that, of course. Paul Denton on pole, Jos Honig second, Roy Ververke third, Christian Rose fourth, fifth Tom Depke, sixth Samuel Libert, then seventh Cullinan, eighth Smolensky, then Chepelewski ninth, Ongener 10th, Keithley 11th, Waldock 12th, Thompson 13th, Baxter in 14th.
Starting from the pit lane again. There's Libert.
We've got a lot of work to do then. Here we go. We've got some work to do.
Green, green, green.
Now as the green light is on, start by Paul Denton. Not the best one from Honig. Over Verke. Christian Rose around the outside. Very late on the brakes is Rose. Might be able to cut back both of the fake sim spot cars, but he doesn't judge the cut back well. Around the outside there, who's that?
Oh!
And off!
Honig just about kept it out the wall.
Yeah. Wow, dear me.
That was very lucky, I have to say. Just got on the gas early. Again, tyres still not up to their ideal operating range, and yeah, just got a little bit loose.
Oh! Thompson was looking for a move on Waldock. If anything, these guys might have a pretty good fight, you know, because Waldock's been quick in this meeting. Waldock right up behind Keithley, Alex. Might have a go into the head.
Yeah, looking at it, Keithley having to cover it off a little bit.
He's got his teammate to block him off. Look at that. And send him wide. Staying on the track. Oh, good work by all of them, actually, to avoid contact. Thompson on the inside. Keithley moves across, but look how they're boxing in Waldock. But it's Thompson that they might have to worry about, Alex, because I reckon he's going for it here.
Yep, straight up the inside, late on the brakes.
He's going to go on everybody, is he? Oh.
I'll quite get...
Just gets Ongener, actually. The only one position gain for Thompson that time. Waldock having a look on Keithley. Thompson cuts Waldock back. He's through, but those two are... I believe those two are teammates, so they're not Waldock and Thompson.
Yeah, they're sort of
outside
stable
of the league,
mates, aren't they? So I wouldn't be surprised if they're not in the same chat at this point.
Yep. Meanwhile, at the front, Paul Denton leads the way, Christian Rose in second, Alex Smolensky in third, but these guys need to get further away than they have been in this first lap. Already Jack Keithley only about 5 seconds behind. 4 seconds behind.
Already battling as well. Denton having to go defensive on Rose. Runs a little bit wide. Rose gets the cut back. Gets a great run out of the corner. He's going to have to do it the long way around the sweeping right-hander. He's got his nose alongside.
Oh!
And yeah, Denton comes
You
flying
don't want
across
to
there.
be. You don't really want to be side by side in that section. That's for sure. That's like Beckett's and Maggots, really, isn't it? It's a very similar section.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a lot of room. One line is the ideal line, and what makes that worse as well in Beckett's, Maggots Chapel, and like the Suzuka S's, you can get up on the curbs a little bit. It's not too bad where you smash those sausage curbs here.
Oh.
And yeah, you can be in a right world of
Absolutely.
Of pain. Look at this behind though.
Disaster if you do
Keithley, Thompson. Who else we got in there? Rafe Cullinan, Roy Ververke.
It seems in recent weeks that Jack Keithley and Josh Thompson have been the authors of their own pain, but we'll see what chapter they can write here. At Circuit in the Americas, Thompson is in front at the minute. Oh, as the battle for the lead rages on. Christian Rose up the inside. Good move by Rose. And he has the advantage, he has the position. Now needs to make some headway. Try and get clear because, I mean, they're pulling away from that group behind who are also battling though.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a bit
These three
tougher
need to
now.
work together.
3.4 seconds clear of Thompson. So if they can have some good laps here, you know, they might be able to hold on to this. But I mean, 6 laps to go.
Thompson's got the speed on Keithley here, hasn't he? Surely.
Yeah,
In
and
this
Keithley
meeting.
looks like he's already dropped out of the slipstream, really. So have a good little battle going on further back between Rafe, Baxter, Ongana, and Co. Oh, into the final corner. I thought that was going to be curtains, but somehow they all managed to survive. Oh, slow down for someone.
Oh, it's Ongana. Not like it. Side by side, Cullinan and Stellian Chepelewski.
Apologies there, the late night's getting the better of me.
Oh mate, I can imagine. It's not been the most riveting meeting so far, I have to say. It's been good. It's been good driving going on, but driving's been clean. That's something.
Yeah, actually it has, and you know, we haven't really had any DNFs or anything, or DQs. Like we were talking about the opportunity or possibilities of all the disqualifications, but it hasn't happened.
I'm not sure if anybody's failed to finish the race, you know? I think everyone has crossed the line in both races so far. Still going in this one.
Everyone knows, a different mindset, isn't it? Everyone's starting to understand the importance of finishing in the showdown.
Yeah, mate, it's that nil-nil draw mentality, isn't it? Nothing ventured, nothing gained type thing. Or nothing lost, maybe,
Thompson,
as well.
Something ventured there, that's for sure. Smolinski trying to defend it, but in the end just gets run off the road a little bit. But I think Josh made his intentions pretty clear there.
Needs to win the race, Thompson.
A little bit late to defend it from Smolinski, reacted more than covering it off.
Driving well tonight is Josh, anyway. Made that one mistake with the spin, but you know, he's picking his moments, isn't he, to come through the field. He's not just blindly going for it, which I think he has been guilty of at some points. But he'll be just ruining the fact that it's taken nearly 120 races to realise that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not convinced it's completely out of his system, to be honest. It's only going to take one driver just to really battle him, and I think we'd be in a very similar position to what we saw at Spa.
I think you're probably right, but I was just, you know, trying to be
nice.
Yeah, trying to be diplomatic a little bit, you know. Like I say, I like Josh. I've no problem. I you know, having talked to him,
the quickest AM driver out there, and deserves, you know, on pure pace, deserves to win the AM championship.
Talked to Josh pretty regularly. He's such a nice guy. He just needs to rein himself in a little bit. This is the point. Then with Jack. Jack allowed Josh to get under his skin. As did Libert. Allowed Josh to get under the skin. And I'm not saying for a minute that he was in the right, because he definitely wasn't. But if they'd have just ignored him, chances are they would have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just going off because Denton literally just went. You know, move along. Come through. Yeah. Waves him past. Puts the brakes on. Just allows him
to load of, through, so. You know, like those self-driving racing cars, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
He's got Keithley behind him as well, so I think we're going to see that again. But
the three wide down the back straight. 3 wide, Ongana, Cullinan and Honey. Sorry, that's about as animated as I'm going to get at this point tonight. Cullinan still side by side with Ongana though.
What?
At some point though, Alex, they're going to have to fight each other because...
Yeah, exactly. The teammate's going to have to start going at it a little bit.
You can't just finish races wherever you sort of qualify and I don't know, expect to win things. I don't know, it's not going to... I mean, the team's championship is where the big money is, and unfortunately that means the individual drivers are not really that invested, I'm afraid. Apart from the ones fighting at the very top of the championship. So you see Baxter. Baxter's been doing very well. He's now passing Smolinski for, that'll be 6th place when he gets through there.
On Rose as well, going into turn 1, having a little look.
A really good battle.
Worth Denton having
He's
a go.
now going to let Jack through, is he?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say for Denton, he needs the points, doesn't he?
Is.
Desperately. Yeah, he does just let him go. Got out the gas there. There's no way of getting around there.
But that stopped his battle with Christian.
Yeah, and and now he's only 2 points ahead of Baxter, so he's not really closing up that many on Baxter. So
he's going to hope that Jack roughs up Christian a little bit. I don't mean literally, but gets through maybe on him in a slightly strange part of the circuit, or maybe slows him down a bit, and maybe Paul gets a run. Maybe that's the way he wins he wins the battle.
yeah, he needs to stay with his teammate though, doesn't he? Stay in that draft, so when there's an opportunity, he can sort of pounce.
Sliding
and Depka having a little battle right at the back. We might as well give those guys some cover.
Oh, Tommy probably doesn't even have the energy for a battle. I know. If I can imagine, don't get me wrong. I don't know what's like I say. I don't know what's afflicting him tonight. But if it's what I sort of think it is, and if it's like maybe some weakness or a fever or something like that, God, I would not want to be driving 4 single seat races. I don't know about you, mate. I know.
No, I get you.
If it's that sort of where your whole body's weak and you can barely.
Been nothing wrong with me all season really, and I've just not done any World Championship races more just because I couldn't be arsed.
I didn't say
more than anything, busy, but
it,
couldn't be arsed. So
I wasn't even going to mention it, but
if I was ill, there'd be no chance.
Oh no, this is it. What's the plan then going forward for yourself then?
I'm back in the Pro Series for sure. Yeah, I'll be back in 2018. I needed the year off, I think, more than anything, just to sort of recover and
Keith up the inside.
few things we were working on, and the academy took quite a bit out of me, to be honest. That was pretty full on for the best part of a year, doing all those setups and videos and track guides and setup guides and all this and that, and people sort of realised the time that went in on that. So it's nice to sort of rein that in a little bit.
I want to see you out on the track. That's just the old grizzled teammate in me, mate. I want to see you out on the track again. And you know what? We'll have to get back out on the track together again. Because
the Le Mans was quite fun actually.
Le Mans was very good.
We had a smashed up car.
We'll have to work. Well, to be fair, we didn't do it.
No.
Well, not originally, anyway. But you then did do it, but that wasn't really your fault either. Somebody tried to, for those who don't know, bump draft Alex down the back straight towards Indianapolis. It didn't end well, so we say. So we should get back out on the track together, and definitely we need to do that either in the end of this year or next year, certainly. Good move by Baxter there. You got
up behind Denton now, one place. And there's a good little battle going on behind them as well. Very close between Smolenski, Ongano, and Rafe, I think.
Ongano's trying everything he can to try and get past Alex, and Smolenski placing his car nicely. Like I said, not the quickest in this Formula Renault is Alex, but I think he got a tap there by
a tiny little one, yeah.
And that's actually bringing Cullinan, Libert into the equation. Honig, we might see a good battle here.
On the outside for Ongano. Oh, that's good. Very good. Collision, they all checked up, and Libert disqualified. Rafe takes the hit. That's what happens when you do have a few too many off tracks.
Oh, man.
And the catch up through the field.
Started from the pit lane, didn't he, Libert?
Yeah.
Still got disqualified, didn't he?
Well, we said about it earlier, it's easy to get off tracks here, and then if you do, and then all of a sudden you have an instant like that, I mean, come out, nothing really, just a check-up, wasn't alive to the situation, and boom, that's him disqualified from the race. That was the last thing he needed. That is everything Tom needed, though. This is why Tom's here, to pick up that third place overall, and he's going to gain another 90-odd points here.
The ultimate self-destruct, isn't it, really? I mean, he crashed out of the race last week, got a race ban for being stupid, missed the first race, so that's more points gone, finished the second race low down because of the pit lane start again here, could have finished the race, got some solid points, and still got himself disqualified in a race where nobody's racing each other, but he could have finished 7th there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to say it's all his.
It's not his fault there. Sometimes you don't have enough time to react to those check-up situations when you're focused on the car sort of directly in front of you. It happens so
crash,
quickly.
The crash, not his fault. But the fact that he got enough incident points to where 1-4X would have put him out of the race probably was.
Yeah, especially in this series, you need to expect that somebody's going to clip you somewhere.
Yeah.
Onganas still so close. It's Cheppy that he's behind now, isn't it? Not Smolenski though.
But you see what I was talking about with Sam mostly is to just illustrate how it's a follow up from the stupidity of Belgium, where and that's led to this point, hasn't it? It's just a knock-on effect and a knock-on effect. Yeah. So that's maybe something to think about.
Exactly, it's what put him to the back and everything. So
yeah, that's what you need to think about in the future, I guess. But
we're all going to go for a move here when Cheppy's got quite a run, looking good.
Well, he has, and Cheppy, to be honest, hasn't even contemplated defending anything tonight. So I'm not really.
Did he off his lines like thank you?
I'm not really sort of surprised. Although, is he going to go again, or is he just going to get as close as he can and then tuck in? Yep.
Baxter, Denton, and Rose.
It's pro wrestling. We can predict everything that's going to happen.
Yeah.
We know that. Anyway.
All scripted.
And I love wrestling, and this isn't as good as wrestling. Not tonight, anyway.
All scripted. Deptka for the championship.
Well, he's American. I mean, he's American here at COTA, so naturally he's going to lose in his hometown, which is that's a staple of professional wrestling.
Will Baxter go for this? He's got every opportunity here. I don't think he's going to. No, he doesn't. He lifts. Actually lifts as well.
Oh, never mind.
It's not happening for us tonight, is it?
Thompson then. Well, Adam will come back and be all excited, and then we'll have to break it to him. Thompson then through the middle sector and looking nice and smooth. Not going to curse him, hopefully. He just needs to be careful. He's got 3-second lead. He does not want to do anything silly. But again, he's completely dominated Keithley in a race where he started behind him.
Yep.
And Jack, Jack needs to find something. He was quite quick in qualifying, but he needs to find some race pace. Otherwise, it's going to be the same story again in race 4. Round the corner then, round the final corner. Josh Thompson wins here at COTA. Second win of the night. That might be the first double for Thompson.
2 wins in a second so far. It's pretty good. If he can get on the podium again, that will be the first time ever he's had 4 podiums. So that's what he needed to do all season long.
4 finishes. Is it the first? I wonder if it's the first time he's had 4 finishes if he makes the line. And I know it sounds awful, but it could be, couldn't it?
We're not there yet either.
Well, no, that's what I mean.
Deptka and Honig towards the line. Looks like Depka's going to get this one.
Oh,
slow lap from Honig on the last one.
Yeah.
Allowed him to get back through.
Well, he's crossed the line in a much better condition than he did before. So Roy Viverki's had an issue because he was only 8 seconds down on that battle at the end, and he's much further down now. His last lap was 2 minutes 8 seconds. Damage for him. Yeah, it's bad lap for Roy out there. So, okay, take you through the finishing order then. Josh Thompson wins the race, 2.8 seconds clear of Jack Keithley. Christian Rose in P3, Paul Denton in 4th, Baxter 5th, Waldock 6th, 7th Ongana, 8th Chepelewski, 9th Smolenski, 10th Cullinan, and then Deptka, Honig, Viverke. The only retirement of the evening so far, I believe, is Samuel Libert. We've got one more race to come here. Tonight, Roy Viverke is going to take the pole position for that one, and you can join us for it here on Apex Racing TV in just a few minutes' time.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
The outside contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
For the final time tonight, we return here on Apex Racing TV for the Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Alex Simpson. And for this round, Adam Bath. Adam, hello. Yes. Round 4, better late than never.
I wasn't at the football, by the way.
He wasn't at the football. He probably wishes he was, because Aston Villa won 4-1.
I bet you wish you were at Ellen Road as well.
Yes, I do actually. Yeah, no offense, Alex. No offense, mate. The racing tonight hasn't been as exciting as I would have liked.
That's all right. Screw you both. You'd rather be there than with me here. So it's fine.
Well, no, I'd have asked you. You know, we could have all gone to the football.
Yeah.
And just, you know,
I think we're in for a long flight with it.
It would have been a bit more exciting. I must be honest.
A long walk. I'm not sure about flight.
Yeah, well, a long walk. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think.
Who's going to get the dildo prank in the suitcase for the flight, eh?
Oh dear, he'll have to say that. I don't know. He's just said it anyway. Adam, the porn one week, not the next. Adam, the point that we're trying to make is, and we do apologise to the viewers, but really, you know, whatever.
There's 9 of them. It doesn't matter.
Oh, there's 9 of them. Hello, everybody, and 3 of them are probably us. Is that everyone? There doesn't seem to be a lot of battling going on tonight, Adam. Everybody's like really wanting, you know, they're really playing. It's like I use the analogy of it's a game of football where no one needs to win. They're playing for a draw because they only need a draw. So the drivers, you know, team drivers are letting each other through into what position would be beneficial in which race, and you know, which driver ahead of the next one. And you've got pro sim drivers who are basically getting out of the way of everybody. The faker drivers aren't fighting each other. The Apex drivers are sort of doing whatever. Martin van Loozenhoor's not here, which means that basically the incentive to just finish the race and not attack for the race win is really, you know, just finishing the race is going to gain you a lot of points on van Loozenhoor, basically.
And it also doesn't help that this circuit is a killer when it comes to getting incident points around Circuit of the Americas. So the drivers just want to finish.
What happened to Samuel Lebert in race 3? He gained 8 or 9 incident points, then got a 4x because the cars in front of him crashed into each other, and yeah, he was toast then. But yeah, mate, since you're late to the party, I'll let you have the race start.
Oh, here we go then. It's the final race of the day. 8 laps, Circuit of the Americas. That long run to the first corner. It's Verke on the pole, Honig in second.
Green, green, green.
And it's go. Good start by Honig, but will he be able to get alongside? He has, but can he get alongside and get the position though into the first corner? It will be Verke on the inside. Round the outside goes Honig. And he has the lead, and there's a crash.
Waldox hits Smolensky, and there's a pile-up.
Oh, it's Lebert. Lebert's been hit, I think. Oh no, is it? Yeah, it is Lebert. Lebert's got damage.
Absolutely.
Doesn't have any luck at all, does he?
No, no, he doesn't. Served a race ban in race 1 for the antics at Spa. And
someone off.
Oh,
hello. It's not got any better.
It's Baxter. Well, he was buried in that.
Huge.
He was buried in that wall in the warm-up, and something's gone horribly wrong.
Thing? No, that's a bit earlier on, isn't it? That's a bit earlier on.
Really weird. Yeah, it looks like the car just... Yeah.
Like he's got a suspension failure and he didn't realise until he got to the corner. Oh, did he get a piece of that? He got a piece of that collision at the first corner, you know. And I think he's got hit on the right rear suspension. Alex, I don't know if you can see that from any shots, but as soon as he turns, as soon as he tries to turn left, I think the rear wheel's out of alignment.
There goes his lead in that championship, down to nothing in one race. That's how important it can be. So
I've got to point out as well, he's done very well over the last few weeks, but David Waldock, that's twice now he's absolutely just flown up the inside of the first hairpin. And in the first race he was with 2 other drivers. He was lucky not to cause anything there. He only caused, I think he caused Denton to run wide possibly. But that was just a lunge, and it was too much, and Smolensky was the unfortunate victim.
124 points, sorry Adam, 124 points. He was leading the AM Championship going into this race, Baxter. We usually gain around about 90 odd points, don't we? That gap's going to come. That's going to be very, very small. So with 4 races left in this championship, absolutely nip and tuck between the AMs.
Well, all this means then that Josh Thompson might be the man to watch. He's gained 10 positions since the opening lap. He's up to 3rd place now, just getting by Stelian Shepalevsky. Next up on his list is Rafe Cullinan and Jos Honig, who leads the way now.
Josh Thompson, Adam, 2 wins tonight, and he should have won the second race as well. Spun off while leading, gave the win to Stephen Baxter. But Stephen Baxter himself gained about 10 positions to win that race.
Yeah, well, Josh Thompson seems to be moving on now. He sent me. We were talking earlier. He's made the peace with the Faker team after the various shenanigans that's been going on, and he's reaping the rewards of that. I think he's got the 2 wins today, and doing his bit for the Apex team and trying to get them somewhere up the order.
Well, I don't think he's crashed into any of them this week, so that counts as making the peace, Alex, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree, so.
Whether it stays like that or not, we don't know, because there's still a few weeks in the team.
If you're at the inside of Stelian, dives into the hairpin before the straight. Always risky to do that, because it's very easy for the driver to come straight back at you, and that's exactly what Stelian's doing.
Comes down the back straight, see what speed these guys can get up to then. 210, 220 kilometers an hour. Stelian Shepalevsky will be on the inside for turn 12 at the end of the back straight. Like Simsport car of Keith Lee trying his best, but looks like Stelian Shepalevsky should have the inside, but he goes deep. Lord, just about makes the corner, locks the left front. And here comes Keith Lee again as we go into this very tight complex of corners.
Yeah, Stelian has been largely getting out of the way tonight with people, but he is fighting with Keith. I think he's touched the rear.
Ahead. What's going
Cullinan.
on? That's Rafe. Oh, he's around.
Rafe's around. Yeah.
Well, Thompson gained the position, and it was all Cullinan's own doing.
Oh, he locked the rears, Alex, the rear bias again.
And Thompson got
hits
collected him. Yeah.
Thompson's got a lot of damage on that front wing as well, so he's going to be pushing pretty heavy through some of the high-speed sections of the circuit. With Keithy just a second and a half behind him, maybe he might not get these 4 podiums that we were talking about.
Well, FFS he typed in the chat. I think he doesn't need a genius to know what that means, but it does mean that Josh Thompson is going to be struggling to get the hat-trick tonight, the 3rd victory. And
also, it's ruined Cullinan as well, because he's had to tow back to the pits from that damage that he sustained.
I think because he obviously would have been fine if it wasn't for getting collected, but there'd have been very little that Josh Thompson could have really done about that, I think.
I think we know what the problem is, Andrew, now. Everything was fine while Adam was not here, you know.
The point
everybody was finishing races. We only had 1 DQ the whole meeting, 3 races. He comes back and we've had 2 in the first lap.
I'm bringing the BSR TC to the BSR Formula Renault, I think.
But this is what it is. It's all this time it's been you.
Ollie, no, as Josh Thompson gets passed by Jack Keeper.
The thing is, Thompson's got absolutely nothing, has he? Although he's got a fast car in a straight line, so we'll see if he can maintain that, even with the damage. It looks fairly okay, but it's just losing out a tiny bit. Needs to pull back into the slipstream. Might have a look into this final corner, but I think deep down he knows he's got damage. He's going for it anyway. Keithley needs to give him the space. He's gone wide.
These 2 have supposedly shook hands. It looks like Keithley's finally got the better of him.
Well, it's better than shaking each other, which is what they would have been wanting to do a few weeks ago.
Surely would be in his right idea just to sit there behind Keithley now and use the slipstream to stay with, because he'll pull away from Stelian behind, and that's still a podium finish, which will be what he needs to gain points on mine and people like that.
Though,
but he's struggling, isn't he, in the high speed? Look at that though.
That understeer he had there, mate, through the right-hander, that was absolutely criminal. There was something I was getting at before, was that we were on about Adam. Yeah, Adam, there were no retirements due to accidents tonight at all.
I wonder if
just 1 disqualification.
I wonder if they're trying to impress me or something. They're just getting it all wrong.
Yeah, maybe. Adam's back quick.
Oh, look at this, Adam, quick.
Let's all go into a heat, you know. Maybe.
Oh, good battle here. Oh, it nearly was. It was about to be there was a good battle, but Ongana versus Stelian Shepalevsky.
Epi almost lost it. Almost ended up in the fence. And it's been a good night for Pro Sim. I mean, he stayed out of trouble. No Kip Stevens tonight, which I'm a little bit surprised about. To be fair, he is loitering in the TeamSpeak server, so... Oh no, crash! Ongana hits Thompson.
And Sheppy gets collected.
Look out, Roy!
Oh, it's like me in that IMSA race.
Disqualified as well.
Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. I won't come back. Block me if you will.
All that hard work.
absolutely murder, death, killed there. And Ongena, well,
He's
I'm
had to tow
not
back to the
quite sure
pits.
what Ongena was doing, really. He's kind of just... He's normally a very, very good driver. He doesn't really get involved in these things. But what do you think, Alex? Just maybe not paying attention? I don't know. He went very deep into the corner.
Yeah, really not
Although
sure.
Thompson was slow through the high speed. Oh, and that's what caught him out. And he took a wide line. You know what? That's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Because have you seen the replay?
I haven't been able to bring it back up, I'm afraid.
Basically, Thompson was slow through the left-hander. I don't know if you've seen it, Adam, but
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Thompson was slow through the left-hander, and then he went all the way over to the left for the next right-hander because he's got damage and he needs to do a different line. Ongena then thought, I'll go up the inside because Thompson was so slow on the outside. And then Thompson turned in on him and just didn't see him. I don't know whether it was just literally he didn't know he was there. I don't know.
A whiff of Schumacher Hill at Adelaide in the air, I think, there. With Thompson with the damage and Ongena looking to go through. But either way, they're both out of the race. 4 cars out then. We're down to 10. Smolenski and Depka going at it.
Well, that's without the intentional crashing, we must add.
Oh, Christian Rose and Waldock as well. They're going wheel to wheel down the hill as well. So we've got a few battles going on the circuit here. Looks like Waldock through into third.
Waldock completely got away with that, didn't he, Alex? That first corner.
Yeah, he did.
It looks like he's the only one who's completely unscathed and moving well for the last few weeks, like I say, but not a very good move in turn 1. I reckon he'll get a penalty for that because it did cause retirements.
Smolenski and Denton and Depka. That's a great 3-car scrap.
I will say, as we've learned in this last week or so, whether I think something should be a penalty, nobody cares. So, what we have this time.
Nobody cares about. Nobody cares about opinion.
Nobody cares what I think. No, I mean this is it's been well established over the years. As Christian Rose going through on David Waldock, then down the back straight into the left-hander at the end of the straight. It's a good overtaking opportunity, this, and Rose takes said opportunity, moves up into the podium places.
Ongoing scrap between these two. I thought that Waldock might have got the better of the CQR car, but looks like Christian Rose. Or does he drive for Pro Sim now?
Yeah.
The former CQR driver. Now back into the podium positions as Alex Smolenski is dropping down the order. Alex Smolenski has had a spin at the end of the back straight.
Yeah, and that's down to down out of the top 7. That's 9th position now.
I don't think we've got
I'll give Tom Depker a lot of credit, by the way, Adam, because you can tell just by how he was driving earlier on and the laps he was doing, you could tell he feels horrible. And
I got told by Josh that he wasn't going to be here because he was that ill. So,
and he's really putting up a heck of a... I think it's a heck of a drive, Alex, to be in 7th place. I don't care whether everyone's crashed off in front of him.
Oh, and he keeps starting from the pits as well, so he gives himself a disadvantage every time. Just
Of course, takes you back to when Pete Newman did the BSR-TC from a hospital bed.
He was linked up to all sorts of tubes and machines and things, wasn't he? Newman. Depka's not quite in his hospital bed, and I hope for his sake he doesn't have to go to one. But yeah, dear me.
Battle for the lead is getting a bit close. In fact, as up the inside goes Honig. Heathley back on the exits.
Oh, gosh. Teammates fighting. I don't reckon there's team orders here. Honig, who took his first win of the season earlier on in the season. That wasn't a win on merit, I don't believe, really, because that should have been Stephen Baxter's. But this one, if you could take this one away from Jack Keithley, it would definitely be that. Look at that exit.
11 positions gained for Keithley now. Honig, who started on the front row, got the lead early on. Has been able to hold on for a good 2/3 of 3/4 of the race.
Although the last thing Jos Honig wants to do, I know he wants to battle for the win, and we want battling going on, but last thing he wants to do, Alex, is hit Keithley, and when Keithley's got basically an open goal.
Yeah.
With Martin van Loozenhout here as well. Jos Honig will have his day. He's a good driver. He's only getting better, and he only will get better. But today's not his day. Like I say, he can take comfort from the fact that he has got a race win to his name this season. 2 laps to go.
Things this BSR series does to you, makes you race from hospital beds, makes you race when you're ill.
Oh yeah. I mean, that they're racing for over $5,000 though, as Alex said at the top of the show, so, you know.
I've pointed out Josh is down in the interview channel. He's been there a couple of times recent weeks. We haven't been able to get him in. Should we just have a quick word to go with 2 laps to go?
Go grab him, mate. Yeah, we've got 4 minutes or so.
Don't have to have him in there, but yeah, Josh, welcome to the commentary box.
You cursed me for starters, boys.
I know. I think you should be blaming
sorry,
it at me. Well, we were talking about the track before earlier in the day. Didn't seem to go that badly for you. Able to get the hat trick of wins. Oh, you were going for the hat trick.
No,
Yeah,
I was going for the clean. With the pace I had after race 1 and race 2, I was like, the clean sweep is on, because I felt like I had ridiculous pace here. I love the car and track combo, which is surprising because everyone usually hates COTA for the off track and stuff, but I didn't find it too bad. But then obviously I made a silly mistake in race 2, which I was gutted about, because it was just, I damaged the curb. You go on the broadcast, I went over one of the sausage curbs in the chicane on the first lap. Then from there, could not turn the car in. I was having to like short shift mid-corner to keep the car pointed. But obviously then just made a mistake going a bit too fast and not having the mechanical grip in the front. Then race 3 was good coming through, and then that race just all went wrong.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you really could have done in the last race. But to be fair, that's your best meeting of the season, no question, and give you good confidence for the rest of it.
It's bad when that's your best meet and you still had a DNF. That's the
But you
worrying
picked
thing.
up 2. You picked up 2 wins, and not many people have done that. So
2 wins should have been 3, I think, if I didn't make that mistake. And just the race 4 was just so unlucky. I was trying to when Ralph spun, I was hoping he'd roll back across the track to the outside. I'd already committed to the inside, and I tried to avoid it. And I was like, I'm either going to get a massive slowdown, like going over the curb and damaging the car, or hope he rolls, and just didn't have enough. I tried to slow it down as much, but I clipped him. And obviously I was slow then, so I was having to defend like mad. And then Yannick must have mistimed the overtake, but I don't know why, because it's a bit of an odd spot to do an overtake there. So I wasn't really expecting anything. I was waiting.
It didn't look like you saw it coming, and it didn't look like he expected to sort of have the chance. To be fair,
I'd have thought, because he was in the same. Because I'm guessing he's in the same chat as Keithley. I'm guessing Keith would have told him, but I had damage. So like at least wait, especially being in the showdown. Maybe if it was early on in the season, you might have gone for it. You know, if it was like 40 cars on the grid. But nah, I'm just gutted because then I got DQ because of that. Because I had the 4x because of the cut, and then the 4x because of that, and then 2x because I went off twice at the start. So.
Oh.
But,
Tell you what, though,
well.
a good job tonight, and like I say, hopefully it gives you better results for the rest of the season.
Yeah, hopefully it just carries on now like this. Claw them points back.
All right, cheers, Josh.
Monza next week. Yeah, see you at Monza.
That's good actually, because it slowed down for us.
Hi. Good to speak to Josh Thompson there. Although we are nearing the end of the round, Adam.
Yeah, here we go. Not too long to go now. Jack Keithley, final sector of the lap now, has been able to get the gap up to 2.6 seconds and gained 11th position. Started in 12th on the grid, with the likes of Van Loozenord not being here. Probably a crucial moment in his championship bid.
Could be it at the moment, Alex, that Jack Keithley takes control.
Yeah, big time. Got some serious margin now to play with. Just needs to make sure he finishes every race of the season. I think he could be his. Let's hope we don't curse him though. Here he comes.
Jack Keithley wins the final race of the day here at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, well deserved. Good race from Keithley. Jos Honig, second place. That is an excellent drive. Really is. You know what? Because it took a long time, Alex, for Keithley to get there. And that showed how well Honig was doing out there tonight.
Yeah, it did indeed.
And Denton and Smolenski, there could be something going on here. Denton could yet have a chance.
Denton damage. Awesome.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose, yeah, he's not gaining actually, so Smolenski comes across in 9th, and Samuel Liberti will finish the race, but look at the state of that Renault.
And then, yeah, the 4 cars that fell by the wayside. Yannick Ongener after the attempted move on Josh Thompson. Thompson himself out of the race. Rafe Cullinan had to retire after the damage he sustained when Thompson clipped him whilst he was trying to avoid him. And Stephen Baxter, we saw happen to him spectacularly out after getting suspension damage in the first corner mishap.
Yes, so just take you through the finishing order then. Jack Keithley winning the race, first one of the evening. Jos Honig second, Christian Rose third, David Waldock in fourth, Roy Ververke top 5 for him, well done. Stalin Shepelevsky in sixth, started there. Tom Depke 7th, Alex Smolinski 8th, Paul Denton 9th, Samuel Libert 10th, and then the 4 retirements that Adam mentioned. Alex, I wonder if we can go back to lap 1 and just see if you can take us through the replay of the start, if you can.
Let me see
if you can, is the optimal being the operative word.
We don't have a vast gallery, as you can tell on Apex Race. Here we go.
Yeah, we don't have the people in the truck. You know, we don't have those.
Yeah. Here we go though. We've got it there. And you know, it was the merest of touches from Waldock and Smolinski. You could argue there really is nothing in it. Alex sort of gave him enough room, but just not quite enough. It was a bit slow on the apex. That sort of hampered it, but it's the tiniest of touches that sends him around. Yeah. It's just that really tight line from one of those sort of medium sweeping lines, you know, that's caused the problem.
Yeah, and you saw just the slight hit on the rear of Stephen Baxter's car as well, which looked, at least from my view, to bend the rear suspension out of alignment, and that looks like as soon as he tried to turn left, that's what did for it.
And go one more time on board with Waldock. You can see him coming in. Comes from a long way back. I mean, he's Smolinski a couple of cars ahead at the minute. And actually, too, Alex was very slow going into the corner. Well,
I think he might have caught Dave out a little bit.
Possibly. He braked a lot earlier, and everybody had to sort of scramble to avoid him. It's just taking more speed in. One of those things.
And yeah, poor Baxter. Excuse me. Poor Baxter ended up biting the dust as a result of all that. Right, gentlemen, you say Monza next week, Adam? So
yes, it is Monza.
That should be fun. I reckon that'll be good in these cars.
Final week of the regular iRacing season, and as Josh Thompson was saying there, low downforce setup, so we'll be seeing plenty of slipstreaming. BSR, you never know, we might go for the no first chicane option, but from what I've seen so far, yeah, we should be on for just the full Grand Prix circuit, and that still is pretty good. That still is pretty good as well. So, yeah, make sure you can join us for that week. Next week, hopefully, we can drag you away from F1 2017, and you can come and watch the Formula Renault.
Well, I might have to be dragged even. Alex, mate, well done as usual. Thank you for putting the broadcast together.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll catch everybody, ourselves and yourselves at home too, for the BSR Touring Car Championship on Thursday evening. Thank you everybody for watching tonight on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live, and we will see you in just a couple of days' time. Good night.